Hey guys, DPG here with another fantastic video about how to become a professional actor. I hope you enjoyed the spinning there and I hope you didn't throw up. I'm not going to charge you anything extra for that fun little excursion, but before we do get started on this video, which is really going to be all about how you can meet some of the most important people in entertainment and how to conduct yourself around those people, please like the video at the end if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel and please share this with a friend or loved one or somebody else who's trying to break into acting. So I was out with my lady friend yesterday and we were strolling, and of course we stumbled upon some of those fancy name brand stores like Gucci, MCM, Prada, Dior, Louis Vuitton, etc. And somehow we ended up going into one of those because for some reason she's looking for a backpack, and she's looking at backpacks that people would probably mug her for. But anyway, we went into one of these stores and I have kind of this bit of, I wouldn't say it's an intimidated feeling. It's more of a feeling of like, what am I doing here? And it's going to be really weird. And, you know, this isn't my kind of stuff, and these people aren't my kind of people, and so on. And it's funny because I was standing there waiting for her to go from looking at backpacks to then trying on shoes and so on. One of the guys approached me who works in the store, and he started to ask me about my jacket. And it's a nice jacket, but it's not fancy designer stuff like that. But he recognized it. And anyway, we just started talking. And then he started telling me how he makes suits for this store. It's the Gucci store, by the way, for whatever it's worth. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. And he's got the whole pin cushion on his wrist with all the pins in it. So I definitely believed him. And he said, yeah, we do custom stuff. And I said, oh, what's the difference between the custom and off the rack? And he said, oh, about 4 times the price. And I looked at the price of the suits. They're about $4,000. So you're looking at, $15,000 to $20,000 for a custom made Gucci suit. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not buying one. But he said, yeah, actually, Elton John, like, I don't know how we got on this topic. And this is in the Toronto store. And he goes, yeah, Elton John was in here yesterday, by the way, trying on a suit. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I said, did you tell him we were going to be here today? Like I was the celebrity, right? Because I like to joke around like that. It makes people feel comfortable. They laugh, whatever. But the point is, I said, oh, well, what's he like? And he goes, yeah, he's, just a guy looking for a suit. I'm like, okay, and I was thinking to myself, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, why is Elton John going into a store to get a suit made when he lives in, I don't know, Australia or Los Angeles or wherever he lives, and he could get them just custom made wherever he is and sent to him and all that stuff. And I asked him some of these questions, and I said, well, he said, at the end of the day, we make a lot of assumptions about people, right? Celebrities, that they want to be treated differently, like they act differently. And I was like nodding my head, yeah, of course. And he said, you know what? And he's dealt with lots of celebrities because he's dealing with people who pay $20,000 to get a suit made. So there's, it's a pretty small club. And he said, you know what? Honestly, they are some of the nicest people he ever deals with because they don't see their own importance through putting a brand name on. They might think it's fun, and they might think it's even cool to some extent, but primarily the reason they buy clothes like that is because they know the quality is there, and they know that they'll get well taken care of. They don't have to deal with a bunch of BS, right? They get what they want, and once they've found something that they like and they want, they're going to come back over and over and over. And he said, yeah, they tend to be way nicer and way cooler than the people who maybe have some money, they recently came into the money, and they're using the brand as a status symbol because they're very insecure. So he said the more successful and the more famous and celebrated they are, the more secure they are, and the more normal they act. And the more cool they are if something goes wrong. They're just like, yeah, okay. Whereas the people who are sort of on their way up or think they've made it and they've got to prove to people that they've made it are the ones that act like real dickheads. If something goes wrong, or just their general attitude they walk in wearing all Prada, Gucci, whatever, and they act like there's something special. So here's what I got from this, and I think this is where this is really instructive to you guys, is that first of all, don't ever act any different around anyone. Be yourself, whether it's with the lowest of the low, and of course nobody should be thought of as low, but on the social status ladder, if you want to use that, or the economic status ladder, treat everybody exactly the same and treat them like gold. Treat everyone like gold, no matter who they are. Secondly, everybody, no matter what level they're at, is generally going to be relatively approachable if you approach them in the right way. What's the right way? Treat them like gold, like you would anyone else, but treat them like you're not scared of them. Talk to them as though you don't know who they are. Hey, how's it going? My name's David. Nice to meet you. What's going on? Yeah, so where do you live? Oh, what are you doing in town? Doing a concert in front of 50,000 people. Oh, cool. That sounds interesting. And, maybe they ask you about yourself. Who knows? But just talk normally to these people. Treat them normally and don't fawn over them, because nobody likes fans. It's good to have them because they come to your shows. But if you just behave like a fan and swoon over people, they have nothing to say to you. In fact, you will make them uncomfortable. And so this is a strength of mine. I've never really cared that much about whether somebody is a celebrity or not. So I've never fawned over them, and that's why they generally like me. And I can talk to them because I'm interested in them, and I actually have some interesting things to say myself. I have lots of opinions, as you might have noticed. But that has been the secret for me, getting to know people who, for most people, would be terrified to talk to them. And even if they did, they would only say, oh my gosh, I love your work. It's like, that is almost insulting to them. If you get into the specifics, like I went to your concert and the third song was really good, and I thought to myself that you might have missed a note there. Did you or didn't you? Yeah, that's amazing that you caught that. That's really cool, right? So the lesson here is that celebrities are just like everyone else. They just happen to be, celebrated for a moment in time for something that they do. And so that they act generally mostly the same as they always have on the way up or when they got there. And it's really other people that make them have to act differently. If you scream and yell and chase somebody around, of course they're going to be scared of you and run away from you. But if you're like, oh, hey, Elton, what's going on? Trying on a suit? Yeah, me too. Who cares? Like, who cares? You've got to get over this fandom and this fear of anyone. Treat them like gold. They don't think of themselves as anything special. For the most part, they realize they still have a job to do. And if they don't do their job professionally, they won't be around very long. So they spend a lot of time focused on doing a really good job because they know that that's their job as professionals. So treat everybody the same. And also everybody who you think is on some pedestal, they're actually not. And they would really, in all likelihood, prefer it if you just treated them like a normal person. And that being the case, start to develop relationships with people who are in places that you would like to be, and start to get to know them. Reach out, make specific comments and proposals, start discussions with them, whether it's on social media, whether it's, running into them in a store or on the street. Say, hey, how are you? Because most people actually are totally cool with it. And they're more than happy to have a chat. And if they can offer any advice, they generally will. But you don't need advice from people like that. You need to be yourself and just risk putting yourself out there. And you will find your audience. All right, guys, that's it. I hope that you found this interesting. I'm going to give us a little counterclockwise spin. I hope you found this interesting and beneficial. So please like, subscribe, share, put a comment in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestions for future and other videos, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.